Today is a week to the day from the 11th of September. To me, 9/11 was always a commemoration of the events of the original 9/11, the horrific terrorist attack that killed so many people and shocked and horrified the rest of the world. And I see it as a commemoration of the victims of terror, in particular those who died in New York and other attacks on that day in the United States, but as sort of a memorial to the victims of terror worldwide, of whatever belief or whatever faith or non-faith. And I rather resent, to be perfectly honest, the way that this year's 9/11 has kind of been hijacked by a couple of other nastier debates, one being the one that surrounds the alleged mosque at Ground Zero. Wrong terminology, but that's the one that's being used. And even more so, this ghastly and disturbing ceremony that may or may not take place, Burn a Qur'an Day. I resent the fact that these people are taking away from what 9/11 used to mean to me. But in my own small way, I'm doing what I can to counteract the lethal poison of Burn a Qur'an Day. And to that end, I went out and bought myself a nice copy of the Qur'an. It's actually more or less a translation of the Qur'an. I'm not sure if it purports to be actually the Qur'an because it's got the proper Arabic Quranic script on one column and the English purport on the other column. And it's more, I would say, an explanation, a rough explanation, and it does say that its translation fails, of what the Qur'an says, verse to verse. And this Qur'an is not going to be burned on 9/11. None of my books, of course, are going to be burned on 9/11. The whole idea is utterly abhorrent to me. But because the Qur'an is being singled out, I'm going to single it out for mention in this video, and perhaps one that I do on 9/11. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do then. But here's one good reason not to burn the Qur'an, and this is from the translator's preface. He's a fellow by the name of Ahmed Ali, and he's a Pakistani. Here's what he has to say by way of preface. Quranic Arabic is distinguished by sublimity and excellencies of sound and eloquence, rhetoric and metaphor, assonance and alliteration, onomatopoeia and rhyme, ellipse and parallelism. Its cadences and sprung rhythm, pauses and stops imply eloquent speech and duration. Some of its stylistic beauties are untranslatable and can only be suggested. Now, a lot of people have commented on the beauty of the Arabic, the poetic beauty of the Arabic that is used to convey the message of the Qur'an. And to me, it's not just a religious book, although to Muslims, of course, it is. It's the central book of their entire universe. But as a non-Muslim, I see it as besides that, other things. I see it as an interesting skeleton key to unlock the mind of an entire civilization, i.e. that of the people we call Arabs. This may apply to Muslims in general, but I think it applies particularly to Arabs. It's been my experience that the Arabic people, more than anyone else, think poetically and live in a world of metaphor, poetry, philosophy, and eloquent speech, where every aspect of their lives has some resonance in a poetical or a phenomenally beautiful view of the universe. Everything is almost a morality play to them. Everything is a song. Everything has a lesson in it. And the Arabic language, I think, is to a large extent responsible for that. And although I don't speak hardly a word of Arabic, in translation, even in failed translations, one can reach through and look into the Arabic mind. It's quite different from the Western mind. Well, I shouldn't say Western mind, but it does have its own way of viewing the universe and humanity's place in it. And it is a fundamentally beautiful view. It's alien to, I would say, many of us, but that I wouldn't say that retracts from its beauty in any way at all. And just as there are certain things that one should always know to understand another civilization, another culture, another mindset, I think that one simply cannot understand the tens of millions of Arabs in this world without understanding the Qur'an. That is one small reason why I am not going to burn this lovely book that I purchased. And it's going to retain a very prominent and respected place on my bookshelf for as long as I'm around. Thank you.